The galaxy prided itself on peace, on control, on knowing every threat before it even formed. But then something entered the Zarkan sector. No registration, no warning, no origin. A ship, one word on its hull, scorched in ancient Terran steel, Earth. That was the moment the screaming began. The Galactic Union had enjoyed 3 centuries of uninterrupted stability. Thanks to the core treaties, no member race lifted weapons against another. Their navies were largely ceremonial, and their fleets existed to patrol trade lanes and stop pirates. The idea of a large-scale war had become something for museums and simulations. Until today, the alert hit high command like a thunderbolt. A foreign object had entered restricted space near the neutral zone. Massive, silent. It had simply appeared. No slipstream distortion. No transit beacon. It bypassed every early warning net as if they weren't there. The first image came from an old cargo drone that barely escaped destruction. A black vessel longer than a city, shaped like an iron spearhead, trailing plasma exhaust that shimmered like aurora across the stars. The feed caught the hull before the drone lost all signal. It bore an emblem few remembered, an eagle with outstretched wings clutching earth and lightning bolts. Ambassador Tilrock of the Shari Republic hissed when he saw it. That symbol. It's human. The room went silent. Admiral Kreven of the Valax fleet narrowed his compound eyes. That cannot be. Humanity was restricted. Their militarization banned under Treaty Accord 491. The Terrans had been quiet for over a century after the collapse of Solnet. Once part of the Union, Earth had pulled inward, severed its lines, vanished into silence. Most assumed their species had fallen into internal decay or extinction. Yet this was no extinction. It was vengeance, returned in alloy and thunder. At first, the Union tried to make contact. Every frequency was flooded with diplomatic overtures. Translators sent peace messages in over 6,000 languages. No response. Then the ship moved. It ignored border stations and plowed straight through automated defense buoys. One by one, they attempted to scan it, lock on, or warn it away. Each time, they were atomized before they could finish the signal. Station G-17, a Crolian fortress hub, fired its mass cannon in panic. The projectile never reached the target. Instead, the human ship turned and replied. A beam of focused gravitational energy sliced the station in half. Survivors described it as being pulled apart by the void itself. The Union called an emergency war summit. "We must stop it," barked Commander Vree of the Darnak Enclave, "before it reaches one of the core worlds." Ambassador Tilrock raised his talons. "We tried to isolate Earth. For a century, we ignored their pleas when their children were taken. Now they come with justice, not diplomacy. Justice, or judgment." The truth slowly unraveled, decrypted from ancient files long buried. 100 years ago, rogue slavers from the Viatal Syndicate had stolen over 1,000 human children during the last days of Earth's trade with the stars. The Union did nothing. To avoid breaking treaties, they allowed the matter to be buried under bureaucracy. But Earth hadn't forgotten. They hadn't forgiven. They had gone silent, because they were preparing. The battleship, now designated Titan, approached the Viatal home system. 12 defense fleets awaited it. Over 800 ships. The Union broadcast a final demand: stand down or be destroyed. Titan answered with coordinates. Then hell began. The Battle of Viatal Prime lasted exactly 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Titan didn't just engage, it dismantled. Quantum weaponry, AI-optimized targeting, anti-singularity torpedoes. Viatal ships blinked out of existence, not destroyed but erased from the equation of matter. The planet's moons cracked. The capital station collapsed inward. When it was done, nothing moved. Except Titan. Titan then transmitted a single file to the Union, a list of names. Human names. The stolen children. All of them. Dead. Missing. Sold. Earth had kept records. Files the Union ignored. Now Earth made sure they couldn't be ignored any longer. Panic spread across the galaxy. What else had Earth built? How many more ships were hidden in the void? Had they reverse-engineered Union tech? Or surpassed it? Was this only the beginning? Titan didn't continue its campaign. It didn't conquer. It didn't land troops. It simply waited, just outside the core systems. Watching, the Union scrambled to respond. Talks of building counterfleets began. But how do you prepare for something that refused to speak? Something that struck like a ghost and vanished like a nightmare? On the fifth day, Titan transmitted again. A message. One sentence. We will never be silent again. It was signed, United Earth Defense Command, a name the galaxy hadn't heard in over 100 years. The message ended with an image. The original Treaty 491 with the words revoked burned into it. The Union held an emergency vote. The result shocked many. Earth was reinstated as an independent military power, not because the Union respected them, but because they were terrified. A year later, Union diplomats arrived on Earth for peace talks. They found a planet transformed. Cities gleamed with orbital defense grids. AI ran civil and military affairs with brutal efficiency. Every citizen was trained, not just as a soldier, but as a memory. The memory of what had been done, of what silence had cost. In the sky above them, more Titans were under construction. And as the diplomats stood in Earth's new capital, named Retribution, they realized the truth. Humanity had never wanted war. But when it came, they waged it with absolute resolve. Because the galaxy made one fatal mistake. They thought Earth had gone quiet. They thought silence meant weakness. But silence was preparation. And now? Now the stars would remember what fear truly meant.